quick. What is different between a spiked seltzer and a Truly?
It's $3 cheaper.
Okay, I was gonna say, is it cheaper? Because I'm in.
Okay, it's cheaper.
No, it's the exact same.
When I was just at the golf course, someone told me you put a shot of vodka in those, and they're still delicious. And because those are only like what, 5%?
I can't do that. I drink these to not get effed up.
Please do it, Hill.
I think you could really
You're gonna be out
go
for 4.5 hours.
I drink these to stay away from the hangover.
So without further ado, welcome in, third episode of Yard Talk. We got the boys here. We're going to be discussing the newest Star Wars.
Introduce Jer.
So, yeah, we got to go around the horn.
yeah.
Introductions. So, myself, Andrew.
Aaron, Dylan, Jeremy,
Danny.
Jer is here from the land of San Francisco. One of the original Yard boys.
Yard.
First time on the pod today.
you couldn't miss it.
He couldn't miss it. He flew in from San Fran so we could discuss Star Wars.
No, the guy drove.
Oh, he drove. So
That's even more. That's even more.
Drove a quick 8 hours to get down here.
That's even more committed.
That's great.
Just in time for 7:30.
So I gotta say, this is one I have been wanting to film so bad. Literally since... Now, just to even go way further back, so myself, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I know Aaron,
Yes.
huge Star Wars fan. We grew up on this. And I've been wanting to talk about The Last Jedi / this new movie for so long. Because obviously the trailers for episode 9, but Last Jedi was the predecessor to this, so you can't help but talk about 9 without partially Last Jedi.
It's a lead up for sure. I think we should first talk about what answers need to be given for this next movie, considering what Last Jedi was, which was a whole lot of BS.
I feel like this
You
this
told the
whole
only ones
trilogy-
that didn't like it.
Who else? You liked it?
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
What did you like about Last Jedi?
Let's talk about it. You liked it or you enjoyed it?
I
That's a
enjoyed
big
it.
difference.
Okay,
I
that is
liked
a
it
difference.
all cakes.
Yeah, I
all right,
enjoyed
enjoy it.
Okay, because I'll be honest, if it wasn't associated with Star Wars, I'd be like, you know what, this was a
That would be a-
decent sci-fi movie.
But
But it is associated with all the other ones.
there are characters that you have no idea why they exist, and now they're dead. And like for example, every single time someone dies. Like I thought they were trying to be way too unpredictable. It was like, okay, Game of Thrones. It was like every time you thought something crazy was gonna happen, they'd flip it and be like, oh, gotcha. Way too many times.
So you don't like Leia just floating out there?
Oh my god.
Yeah, when did Leia be able to fly?
Okay, this goes...
Luke's sister.
Okay, but that's another thing, and Dylan and I were talking about this earlier. If you're not trained in the Force, you shouldn't know how to use it. I can understand if it's like, you know, Harry Potter-esque. Like when Harry Potter, he's not trained as a wizard, but he could still like do the occasional magic.
Yeah.
Because he has it, you know.
He's born a
within him.
wizard.
So why
But he can't hone it.
She was trying to save her life.
Oh, so she knows how to just go in the vacuum of space and be able to live in
Okay,
that?
yeah.
Oh, now I'll fly back.
If her kid was under a fridge, I'd imagine, okay, yeah, she could lift that fridge with like
Do you
extra mom
think-
powers, but she can't just be a Jedi.
Yeah.
I agree. And also, it wasn't like anyone's ever used the Force to fly before. It was like, if she had, for whatever reason, like been able to save someone with like a little Force push, which we know can be done, then I'd be okay with it. But for her to fly through space after being exploded, I think is a huge stretch.
So not only is she flying through space, but she is also keeping herself alive. So she's basically encapsulating herself into like a force power or something. So she's using more force power than like Yoda could use. And she has zero training.
Ebony Moss should have taken notes.
Ebony's out there floating ice cold right now.
I've always felt that the Jedi, with their Force powers, has been very inconsistent and like very suspect in like when they decide to use the Force or not. Like they can move a building at one point, and then they can like not even knock over a guy at another point.
So that's true, especially in the movies. They've done stuff like, I think Empire Strikes Back, when Vader cuts off Luke's hand and Luke just jumps down. Why doesn't Vader go, nope, and just like grab him in the air and bring him back?
No.
Like, no, you're not jumping. No, I'm bringing you back. So absolutely they play into it for the movies.
So it's one thing to be inconsistent with the powers, but to just have someone walk up, grab a lightsaber, and have all the powers and training and 1,000 years of training within the Jedis for this new movie, that's what they literally said.
1,000 generations live in you now.
Like Thor's hammer. You can yield a lightsaber.
Yeah, but you still have to conjure or whatever, possess the Force, and every single like Star Wars movie, they have younger Jedis training and training and training
to become
Countless
actual.
hours.
But isn't that just to hone the Force? Like, what if you're just a good swordsman?
I mean, you
No,
can
no, good
potentially.
swordsman. No, I'm talking about specifically using the Force.
Yeah.
Okay, so not just the lightsaber.
Oh, also a good swordsman because she had never used a sword before either.
Yes,
Because part of using the
she didn't use
lightsaber.
the Force that much, did she? No,
She
just
did.
picked it up.
No, she did. When she used. Okay, think back to Force Awakens.
Okay.
She used mind control to get out of her
Oh,
face.
yes.
She didn't even know what the Force was.
She's strong.
So that's where.
Strong in her.
Oh, that's where. Again.
Yeah, but every other Jedi that we know had to train to get to that level. Like Aaron said, it'd be one thing if it was like a little like pencil nudge or like
Yes.
something else. But for her to like,
I'm good with the pencil nudge.
for her to have the full Force already, and then when they in Last Jedi, when they blew up the last remaining temple of the
Picks all the
Jedi.
rocks up.
Yes. No, not that
Oh,
one.
okay.
When Luke Skywalker is walking to the temple and then Yoda comes out of nowhere and lights everything on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
And he goes, "What do you mean? That was a whole history of the Jedi's." And he goes, "She doesn't need that now." And it's like, well, why not? Because she doesn't have
She already
anything
has
else.
everything.
He
Yeah.
said she already has everything. It's like, effing how? She
Okay.
didn't do any training. She didn't read a single book. Like, she... She's gonna read a book? Yeah, that's what they were in there. That's what they lit on
She
fire.
got 3 lessons from Luke Skywalker, who was in the worst mood.
And they
of
were
all time.
BS lessons. Like, he was just basically messing with her.
He hated her.
There wasn't any good lesson there. So, real quick, before we completely divulge, because I know I could just go down this just rant of these movies. Let's talk about, real quick, let's bring it back to center. In terms of Episode 9 coming out, so
Yeah.
the last part of this newer trilogy, are we excited for it? So I'll go Mendez first.
Obviously, I'm excited. I don't know how it's going to be. The storyline could be crap, but it looks cool. That trailer got me hooked right away.
It is an appealing trailer.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a good trailer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's cute.
and who the hell is laughing?
Big deal. Big deal.
Sold.
Who's laughing at the end?
Yeah, is
It's
it really?
Palpatine.
That is
Is
Palpatine.
Palpatine for sure?
Yes, it is for sure. They had Star Wars Celebration a couple weeks back in Chicago. He literally went up on stage and they confirmed.
You know what I'm learning?
No!
Dylan doesn't like any movies or shows.
He's a critical thinker. and I
Oh
appreciate
my
it.
gosh!
No, I just expect more out of this big of a series
I
of
agree
movies.
though, because also Palpatine was like the bad guy the whole time, right? And then at the end of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hate when they rehash stuff. Just like in Hollywood now, they rehash everything. Men in Black International is coming out. You got all these things always
That looks
rehashed.
great.
That movie looks.
Come up with a new character. Come up with a new bad guy.
Okay, it's also that this movie deserves the build-up that it got for the first 6 episodes, and there's no build-up now, and the Star Wars name is still out there. That like these movies have sucked since they got Disney, but just because the Star Wars name is on it, there's half of the crowd that's like, no, we love Star Wars, we're diehard.
Yes.
And that's the only reason they like
Just
it.
because of the name.
If you called it something different and
Star
they came
Trek.
out with this, well, Star Trek's cool, but but I'm just saying it's because of the logo.
Oh,
Star Wars.
Spock! Alright, so Dill, since we're on you, give us your reaction to the
Okay,
trailer.
I'm gonna go see it, but I will. Well, I guess it's hard for me to already hate a movie before it even comes out.
No, you already do.
Wait, it's not that
It's like
hard. I hate it.
It's like every other movie you go watch. Nah, crap.
No, it's because there's so much tension and build-up, and I know it's not gonna meet it. Like
I agree.
and
because-
it's not gonna meet it. They're gonna come up with some bogus storyline. Like Rise of Skywalker, all of a sudden this junk jiggler girl is a
Junk
Skywalker when they've had no other.
It's a galactic stripper. Okay?
Why can't you just go into it and not just believe
With
it?
any
or think-
expectations.
Yeah, any expectations.
You know,
He tries not to. I know he tries not to.
I
but-
try. I really try not to.
I have a hard
but-
time with that. I always go with because
But when these movies suck so bad, what else are you supposed to think?
yes, and also this is what's tough about always making sequels is because if I were to go see a brand new
That's my
sci-fi deal, I have no expectation with that. 'cause
Yeah,
there's
I can
nothing
totally
before
get you.
it.
There you
This
go.
has a history, so I have to have some expectation. It's just part of it.
And there's so many movies that have like preceded this one that you have this huge history of what Star Wars is.
Yes.
And then if they go off the script in terms of like, okay, all of a sudden Luke Skywalker is now this like spirit, which I just think he's gonna be a spirit. I think Palpatine's gonna be a spirit.
Like Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna hate it. And it's like, this has never been introduced before. We don't like these ideas, and
Yeah.
we reject them because they're stupid.
Okay, so give us, in terms of the trailer, what'd you think? Did it get you
I mean-
hyped? Were you excited for it?
I absolutely am excited for it, but I just feel like there's going to be a couple of things that I'm just going to hate. That are going to be the crux of the actual plot. That I'm just going to be like, okay, this is not Star Wars at all. This is a huge like plot armor thing that's going to make it crap.
I think that.
But I want it to be good. I really want it to be good.
So do I. I want it to be good so bad.
Like, I want it to be great.
So if this one's good, does that change your perception on the other two movies?
It can absolutely.
So would
Yes.
this make you say, hey, you know what, this was a good series outside of like the original like
Definitely.
sixes?
Yes.
Like, because I feel like with Last Jedi, they left so many things unanswered or didn't give any reason as to why they introduced
And they
it.
created more plot holes.
Are you
That's
kidding
supposed to
me?
be like the middle one to this next trilogy.
Yeah.
You didn't like the mirror situation?
Oh, where it's endless mirrors and she's just looking
Why is
into
she
it.
snapping?
All right, everyone do it. Everyone do it. Go, ready, Danny.
Oh, you're way off on that.
Thump there.
Andrew didn't even snap.
Come on, what's the thumper? Oh, dang it.
What was this one? Your index?
Yeah. No, middle.
I go middle.
It's all middle.
I go middle.
There we go. Now I'm back. Now
There
I'm
you
back.
go.
Now I'm back. Okay, so what I'll say, I can't help but I did like the trailer. It got me somewhat fired up. But I'm coming from way down deep under a pile of shit after The Last Jedi. I was so pissed at that. Star Wars has been my thing literally forever. I read all the books that came out after Return of the Jedi, and they were about 100 times better than the story that Disney's made.
Yeah.
Like in terms of, it shows Luke being a sick Jedi, having his Jedi Academy, training all these guys, and they do legit stuff. And so now to this story, where basically he's a failure. Basically, there's nobody in there that's even good. Han Solo gets killed by his son, pathetic. Like, there's so many sick things in the books that were better.
So in chronological order, does it go like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Solo?
7, 8, 9.
No, it goes
Well,
1, 2, 3. It goes
3,
1,
4,
2,
5.
3, Rogue One, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. And potentially Solo's kind
Solo's-
of Solo's in between 3 and 4 also.
Okay.
What did you
Are
guys
you
think
sure?
of Solo?
I haven't seen it.
I liked Solo.
Boycotted
I'll do
it.
that.
I don't want to say boycott, but I didn't watch it because I was still bitter about Last Jedi.
Rogue One?
I liked
I
it.
thought
You want to hear
Rogue One
something
was
about
pretty
Solo? They had a budget of $250 million to make the movie. The movie worldwide made $386 million.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
And that partially, because I never saw it. You said it was.
Wait, let me give you something to reference on though. In 1977, when the first Star Wars came out, they
fact check that?
they had
They didn't come out in 77?
they had $11 million budget. The movie made worldwide
No.
$786 million. So
How is that return on investment
$776
right
million more in 1977, which is probably like $500 billion now in this age. That show
Yep,
or that
that's
movie
correct, that's correct.
only made $130 million.
I just want to give Dylan a little shout out for actually like doing some research and actually.
He did the homework.
No, he took notes.
right.
He rehearsed this on his trip over here.
Okay, but people vote with their wallets, and I feel like that's showing you.
Yes.
Okay, because again, Solo came out right after Last Jedi. People were pissed. I think Solo would have done a lot better if people really liked Last Jedi. They'd be like, "Ooh, I want to jump right back into the Star Wars world and see what's going on with this."
There's a reason why Force Awakens grossed so much that freaking crushed everything.
Number one domestic gross of all time for movies.
More than Endgame?
More, yes, domestic gross.
Currently, yeah.
So Avatar is number one worldwide with 2.7 billion.
And Avengers number 2 now?
I think
Avengers just
Endgame.
passed Titanic.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Avengers
okay.
is going to beat them all, though.
It is.
Well, not domestic. Force Awakens had the number one domestic gross ever. So
More
that's
than-
just
But it's
in
only
the
been
US.
out for what, a month?
No.
Or like the
Are you
first
talking about
week?
Endgame?
Yeah.
But it's starting to like slow down.
They're using
All right, let's go
projections.
watch it again.
Has that surpassed Vinny Chase's Aquaman?
They just got it. Cameron directed.
Spider-Man!
We got the spider.
So then, after Force Awakens, that was Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
That one only made half as much as Force Awakens.
Well,
And then
people did not like Force Awakens, even though they all saw it. They wanted to see what was it.
I didn't think Force Awakens was bad.
I didn't think
Okay,
it was
so
bad.
I agree.
Because you didn't go into it thinking, like,
Oh, now
that's
he's mad that you don't think it was bad.
No.
You're mad that I didn't think it was bad. You're mad that he thinks things are
Jeremy
good.
goes, I'm just going to enjoy
Oh,
this
now
movie.
Bill liked it too.
Dylan has to be
I
like,
didn't have any expectations going. I just watched it because it's
Thank
entertaining
you.
for the next
Great,
2.5
he's not
hours.
a true fan.
Now there's expectations. On that one, I went into it too. I was like, okay,
That's
this is
right.
cool. But now there's expectations.
And I gave Force Awakens an absolute pass. I thought it was a good movie, but it set up so much. So a lot of me liking Force Awakens depended on the next one, which was Last Jedi. and now I retroactively hate both of them.
I agree because it was a great first setup movie to have answers, and there's no answers in.
It set up a
Last
ton.
Jedi was just more
Yes.
questions.
Yeah,
It left more questions, and there were crappy answers to what they did.
like there's so many things about Last Jedi. Like, who is Snoke? Why is he important?
He's basically just a plot device.
He's got his ass
Yeah.
kicked like that.
Yeah,
Why-
he's just gone. Oh.
Why are who are who are Rey's parents? That apparently doesn't matter at all.
There's junkers.
Now that's where I will say I think they're going to somewhat retcon that at the end. I have a feeling, if we're just going off theories, I feel like Rey and Kylo are going to be brother and sister.
I agree.
Wait, her parents
And
are the
I
ones
think
that
Luke
were hidden in the
Skywalker is
cave
her
over
dad,
there,
and
right?
I think because I just
So they
remember-
won't be brother and
Well,
sister.
they're
they're
cousins then.
There's a theory about like Mara Skywalker, who was Luke's wife,
Yeah.
who was going to be.
But that was in the EU, which was so much sicker, but they've basically thrown all that out.
I think what I hated the most about Last Jedi though was the fact that Luke Skywalker
Was crap.
was this depressed man when he is the new hope for all of
He
Star Wars.
is! Okay, that's what I
ultimate
will never get
optimist.
over. Because Luke Skywalker is my favorite character ever. Again, I grew up loving Star Wars to death. Luke Skywalker was the man. He was the Jedi.
He's
He was
more than Michael Scott.
yeah. The television Michael Scott, Luke Skywalker for movies.
Okay.
But so
noticed it.
Luke literally, his dad has been slaughtering people for years, and he goes, "Nice thing's good."
No, there's good in them. Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
save him. And then his nephew, who's under his tutelage, he's sleeping, and he goes, "You know what?
He's not worth it. I'm
He
gonna
might be
kill him.
bad." Then he tries to kill him in his sleep. What are you? That is not what would happen.
He wasn't gonna do it.
He pulled his lightsaber out,
And
had
then
it
he
cocked.
said,
Well, no,
Oh,
they
crap.
talked about it later where he said, "No, I thought about it, and
Let
like
a moment
then I
pass."
wasn't gonna do it. It was out of rage after I was." I
But
was so
even
full of
going
rage."
to his hut, and he's like there standing over him, and he's like, "I'll kill him right now."
Yeah, creep.
No, he would not.
Yeah, that's
He goes,
not
"Dude,
him.
I gotta talk to you about this. I had bad feelings in the past. My dad was Vader. I want
Hey,
to."
I don't even understand where I'm coming from. With you.
That is, you can't just retcon a character like that. His character arc was in New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Jedi. He went his whole progression, and then at the end of his life, he's like, whatever. I hate everything. Everything I ever stood for.
I'm gonna burn all the Jedi stuff. Like I hate the Jedi.
Is it-
Dumb.
I can't take it.
Well, at least they gave him a perfect send off. It was like the most beautiful goodbye. Just
He was really funny in the movie.
No, but okay, that is just the thing now because Marvel's been so successful.
Yes, they try to make
Everyone
try to
tries to
make
make
everything
everything hilarious. When has Star Wars ever been like funny, like goofy?
Yeah.
that's true.
The one that Disney got him.
Jar Jar
Dude,
Binks.
Disney's trying to do the same recipe with every show. I don't like it. Or every movie.
Oh, they
I don't like it.
are trying to make it too much the same. I really don't like that.
All
That
right.
does bug me.
Write a letter.
I'm gonna.
You know what?
Let him know.
We're writing a letter.
So are we all going to dress up and go see it together?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna.
Yeah.
I'm so gonna.
All right, what questions do you want answered?
They
Okay,
bring
so
it full
what's
circle.
going on? So what I'd like to see in this, okay, this goes back to New Hope. So you know when Obi-Wan lets himself be killed by Vader?
Yes.
And he goes, "Strike me down, Darth, and I'll become more powerful than you could ever imagine." And his body just vanishes.
Yeah.
Just like Luke's did, just vanished. So he went into the Force. It'd be sick. I would look back on Last Jedi better if they go, basically, he found a way to go into like the afterlife, and then
I'm
he can
not
come
done with
back.
my truly yet, Andrew.
And then he can come back.
So you don't like that?
It'd be a very delicate situation. They have to explain it well.
But
like,
okay, so what killed Luke? Why is he even dead?
Heart attack. He's old.
What are you talking about? He's just sitting there,
Okay,
meditating,
Disney ended
and then he
with a
goes,
heart attack.
and he's
Yeah.
gone.
He
I don't
went like
like
this. He
There.
okay. That was another thing I was talking to Andrew about earlier. When did Jedi have the power to project themselves with the
never,
Force?
never. It's
So all of a sudden he's like a real person, like pretty much. They-
fighting someone with a lightsaber too. And
Yeah, I
somehow-
mean they never touch poles.
Do they
if
not?
you will. No, they never touch each other until Kylo Ren goes to do the kill shot, and he goes just straight through him.
Did anyone else in that moment think about how, okay, that blue lightsaber was just destroyed, Luke's is green, why is this happening?
I never thought that.
No.
I
But what do you
immediately
mean?
thought that.
That's a great.
Luke Skywalker's
Always
lightsaber
been
is
blue.
green. And the one that was his was Anakin's when his hand got cut off, and that's what Rey was using. And then when Kylo and Rey are like pulling it apart,
They
it
split.
breaks. That's the one he's using in that force projection.
And-
And I know their explanation is like, oh, Kylo was so angry that he couldn't even tell. Well, like anyone watching this movie could have been able to tell
I
that.
don't know if I agree.
Look at it.
But that's a good point because
right over my head, I was like, why the heck is Luke not dead from the lasers? That's what I thought.
Why is he not using his green lightsaber? You didn't think about that? That's the sickest thing about Luke. We talked about our favorite lightsaber colors.
Green.
I was actually ticked when Luke wasn't dead too, and then once he was just a hologram, I was more happy. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
really?
they're not that fake. And then once he was a hologram, I was like, wait a minute, since when can they become real holograms with just the Force from a world away?
So you would have been more upset if he was real and he just like did something.
Well, at least he could be like,
because that would have been the tightest
How
thing
much
ever.
sicker would it have been? Because they've already showed other people can do that. Darth Vader blocked Han Solo's blast.
Dude, Kylo Ren
Kylo
held that
stopped
one.
it.
That
What
was
if he
so
comes
tight.
out there and he's like actually him, and they're all those AT-ATs and whatever shooting at him, and he just goes
Like Neo.
Matrix style. Yeah,
That would have made
Neo?
it so, that would have made it so tight. I would have been.
okay,
it
I
would
would
have
have been
shown
okay
all
with
of his
this.
power.
I would have been okay with that.
I think, dude, why do they not do more Jedi-related stuff in Star Wars too? Which is my favorite part of all Star Wars.
So me too. That's what I hate about how Disney's doing it, is because basically Star Wars without the Force is Star Trek,
Yeah,
and I don't care for Star Trek as much. It's just ships and
People
blasters.
fighting.
What I care about is that the Jedi's can use the Force and they have
Yes.
lightsabers.
There's
I
this
agree.
whole, like,
Because
that
I
is
hate
what's
the
sick.
blasters. You can hardly tell what's
They're
going on.
dumb.
You're like,
Yes.
this is stupid. R2 or the new BB-8 saves them every time.
Yes.
Okay, I was saying, I think that BB-8 is the last Jedi. He's the only one to save all of them every single time.
Oh my god.
If anyone's the best person in the film, it's BB-8. He's always freaking there to save them. He saves them out of the jail. He saves them with that. He saves them with that big old what are those?
Yes, the ATSTs.
ATSTs. If they didn't have that guy, they would be absolutely screwed in every scene.
Yeah.
But luckily, they ran into the thief in the jail who no one ever could break the code, but then they stumbled across this person in the jail who could break the code. So thank God for that story.
So again, thinking back to Legend, how dumb is that plot line?
it's the stupidest thing.
Okay, because not only that, so again,
Do you guys happen to know if
it's-
the writers are the same in
Dude, the
all of
captain-
the
different.
They're all different?
Yeah.
okay, again,
Well, they
if
should
you
have at
think
least had a
back to
meeting.
Last Jedi, why they even did that, this plot is so stupid. They just shot the thing out of the sky. The ship is basically done. The what is Kylo Ren's group called? First Order.
First Order, yeah.
They've got all their ships, and they're like, let's wait until they run out of juice, and then
For no
we'll-
reason.
They just dismantled this ship. They could easily take it out. They go, oh, we'll just wait. So instead of like figuring out a place to get on ships to escape, they go, okay, we gotta fly to a planet, get a code breaker, head over there. It's like, so what? They don't care about ships going off left and right. So why don't you just evacuate the ship?
Okay.
Like that is so dumb. That's the worst writing in the world.
No, but that's the thing. And then the purple-haired captain, who was by far the
Yes,
worst
bottom.
character in
Right
the
there.
movie.
There's only one.
No,
Why
that's
does she have
bottom.
this secret plan that she can't tell
Oh my
anyone?
gosh.
Okay, and then all of a sudden, even when they're held up in mutiny, she doesn't
Yes.
say anything.
Because again, that is what's so stupid about this. Because it's plot driven. Because they want the viewer to be like, ooh, I wonder if she's good or bad. But if it was actual scenario, she's going to be like, okay, we're all on the same team. This is what we're doing.
Immediately, even at gunpoint, she didn't even spill the beans.
Yes!
I can't tell you. Go do whatever you want, Poe. Okay.
And then they get mad at Poe for him being like, no, we got to get out of this situation. Like, we're going to die.
Big ship. They're not monitoring for little transports.
So we could slip down to the surface unnoticed.
Why didn't she tell everyone that? Why didn't she say, hey, there's a planet that used to have a base nearby. We're going to get close enough to it and then escape.
And then everyone
back.
got pissed.
That's why.
Okay.
Or at the very least, like maybe if she thought there's like, you know, a traitor in their midst or something, somewhat show that she knew that's why she was doing it. Or else it's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's just terrible writing.
So is this for a fact the last one? Is this going to wrap up the whole story,
No,
or do they have a projection for more?
This is supposed to wrap up the Skywalker saga, which has been episodes 1
One
through 9 now.
Good, because I can't wait for a new story.
It's gonna be Rey.
But who's the little kid with the broom?
Rey's kid.
Don't tell me like Broom Kid.
Oh, Broom Kid was so cute.
That's Rey's kid, actually. We just don't know it yet. We're gonna find out 9 episodes
Okay,
later.
this is one thing, talking about Rey, I feel like that's a character that has suffered in this whole thing, because I really like Daisy Ridley a lot. I think she's super cute, I think she's a good actress.
I agree.
I would like to care about her, but that character, I could I just don't care at all. They have not developed that character. I could care less.
And they also screwed Kylo Ren. I don't think his character is as tight as he could be.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely.
really into Kylo Ren at first, and I was like, dude, he's like a little baby back.
Dude, you can't tell me the first scene in The Force Awakens when he is holding that laser is not one of the tightest
He
things.
came in so bad.
That was so
And also
tight.
when his mask is on, he looks sick.
Yeah, the mask should have never come off.
It should have never
Never
come
come
off.
off.
That's why Last Jedi sucked with him, because he masked off the whole time.
That's
Mask
true.
off.
Stupid Scar.
I was just thinking the same.
Nobody couldn't beat the new Jedi that had never trained her training at all or learned anything. Never
Training.
Never learned a sword whatsoever. Probably not even in the bedroom. And she still just takes down the most powerful Lord.
Yeah, the most powerful Dark Lord at that time.
Yeah.
Or we didn't even know if Snoke had any power, because he sucks. He gets sliced
Oh.
in 2 seconds.
Snoke's a freaking
What was
alien
Snoke's
weird
role?
guy.
His role was
Supreme leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Do you ever see anyone being more powerful than Vader? Like, do you think Kylo
Luke
Ren
was.
could have developed into that?
Luke was the most powerful.
Kylo
What?
Ren.
I'm like, I'm a sin.
Oh.
Sin.
So that's where. So Last Jedi, because Snoke says, "You're no Vader." So
Okay.
like,
No, Vader's probably.
yeah, I think Vader is supposed to be the most
Well,
powerful.
I don't know, because Ray picked shit up pretty quick.
Yeah, that's
So-
right. So she can just do
How is it
anything
that-
with
okay,
no
those-
training.
Those red guys that were
Yeah, the Imperial Guards.
How are they like almost able to beat the Jedis?
Who knows?
Dude, I just feel
we don't know who has training or what.
Yeah, who are those guys? They're just sitting there like
The red guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Sometimes lightsaber went through them, sometimes it didn't. Like, which armor are you blocked from? They block it with their arms, be totally fine.
Yeah.
Take
They're
it
like
to the
blocking
face.
with their head. Like lightsabers coming here.
I'm pretty sure I want a lightsaber blockativity over my face rather than my arm.
Blockativity.
Yeah. They use that word in the movie too.
Look at Jim's
That's
armor. It's just for his shins. But this guy's.
Well, you saw Obi-Wan's jumps all the time, so.
You know what also sucks too? Thinking back to Force Awakens, Finn could have been a really awesome character actually, because he's basically a stormtrooper that defected.
Yeah.
But instead, I think they did it just for laughs. They're like, "Oh, what was your role out there?" They could have said he was like a leader of a troop or something. Instead, he goes, "Oh, I was a janitor."
Yeah, dumb.
They did it for laughs, and then it totally dumbed everything down. Because now I'm like, at first I was somewhat bought into it. They should have made him a more serious guy who's like, you know what? I just
Something more badass.
yeah, like a kind of badass guy that he's like, this isn't the right side. I had a change of heart.
What about his love interest? That girl?
I thought it was that. No, but I thought it was Ray first because
Yeah,
I think it
it's
still is. I think it's a love triangle going on.
Dude, what was the point of him, or of that Asian girl, knocking him off his course to blow up the
my
laser?
gosh.
That was pointless.
okay. That to
She
me.
saved him.
She saved
For
him.
love,
and-
not
and
for
so-
anything else.
Oh,
They've
okay.
known each other for a week.
So that's another thing. When she bumped him, because
yeah.
think of this. Think how stupid it is. It would have been a great arc for him to potentially, if he goes in that laser, he saves everyone. They don't blast into it, right?
Yeah.
So he sacrificed himself for them. That's cool. I understand her saving him and knocking him off. Okay. But at the same time, they're on a broken down ship in front of their entire armada right there. Wouldn't that thing look down and go, boop, boop, boop? They're just destroyed.
Yes.
Like, what the hell?
And-
Who thought of this? Who thought, oh, this is acceptable?
And then she died right then, right?
Well,
No,
No,
she's
she
still
survived. She
We
survived.
didn't see her come back alive. We just saw her go into the medic team, right?
Oh, I don't,
She got
I don't
pulled.
remember
She got
actually.
dragged to the medic team, and the medic team got on her.
Okay.
She's presumably
They
alive.
have great
Okay.
paramedics.
Okay, can we talk about just all the convenience through Jedi or through the Last Jedi? Conveniently, issue number 1. There's no way to get on this ship. Wait, yes there is. We just need a good code breaker. Okay, they call this lady who's fighting who knows who. They're like, okay, code breakers in this city. All right, hey, we gotta take like at least 3 days. Just like talk to him, keep him off. 3 days, we'll be back. They go to this city. They find no code breaker. They get thrown in jail, which there's only one code breaker in the whole entire world that can do this, apparently. They land in jail with this drunk idiot, and he's like, I can break that code. And they go, well, let's go then. They go, they break the code, they get in, and then, thank God, BB-8 is there to save their lives like
Saved
4
the
different
day.
times.
They're about to be executed.
Oh, they ride those cool horse-looking things too.
They
Oh
got-
my gosh.
such a
There are
pointless
those
thing.
They
waste.
got caught. There was a person flying above them the whole time, like, hey, I got him. Like,
Does anyone not think of like the overall thing, what's going on? They're in this city trying to do this stuff. They're kind of wasting their time. Meanwhile, the ship is being
that's what I'm saying. You
tracked down by everything. It's just the worst plot you could think of. Like, I feel like if we were in the writer's room and we're like, hey, let's think of this, we would all point out like, Okay, wait. Why wouldn't they like fly around and destroy it? Like we all say that. Like, who greenlit that? Who goes? You know
Okay,
what?
so-
that's a good idea.
From what I heard, J.J. Abrams wrote the script, and then the director, whose name is like
Ryan
Rain or
Johnson.
something, yeah, he rewrote the whole script and had total freedom to do whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
So Abrams like, this is a great script, do whatever you want, and the guy's like, great, that's crap, I'll do my own thing, and then just took a crap.
So we gotta blame it on RJ.
So then they're
Ryan
stuck in
Johnson.
the cave.
The worst.
They're stuck in the cave and they go, there's got to be a way out of here. How'd Luke get in here? Meanwhile, he's just a hologram that didn't get in anyway. He just projected himself into it. And then they're like, oh, well, let's follow these like diamond horses or whatever they are. Crystal foxes.
Yeah.
And then so they fall to the end, and then Ray's like, hey, I like just pushed the pencil a second ago. I could probably move like 17 rocks.
Yeah.
Like,
She picks every boulder that is.
every huge boulder. She can't even grab her 2 scenes before that, her lightsaber's rattling off the table. Like, is it gonna make it to me? And then she's like, hey, here's 18 boulders.
Remember how hard it was
She
for
had
Luke
to
to pick
save her
up
friends.
the ship out of the swamp?
Yes.
It took him weeks with Yoda, the best trainer ever.
Yoda
Yoda was the most powerful
The
ever.
Jedi Master.
That's a great point.
Okay, and she.
Inconsistency.
Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating because yeah, she had 0 training. They literally, the Jedi's were training people as kids to be somewhat strong.
Anakin didn't even get in because he was too old. Because you gotta start so young.
Oh my gosh,
I'm livid right now.
that's so bad. And Mendez loves it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I thought it was good.
These
I
are the
don't
questions.
love it.
I want to hear, Danny, why did you like the movie?
Yeah, let's talk positive.
Maybe you can switch me.
Honestly, because I went into it thinking, it's gonna be. I'm just gonna go. I don't have these high hopes like you guys, like our expectations like you guys do. I just go in it because I'm not into it like you guys are. If it was like Avengers and I went into it with like high grade
Oh my
expectations,
gosh, Avengers.
then yeah, I'd be pissed. But this I'll just go watch because it's Star Wars and I just don't really.
And you want to be entertained.
Yeah, I want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And it was all right, but obviously there's questions. Like the stupid mirror thing, I was like, all right, that was really dumb. And like when they said, oh, who are her parents? I was like,
So even to the casual observer like you, like there's so many bad things that you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of stupid. Like I didn't like that.
I didn't like Luke. I thought Luke was really stupid. There was no point of him trying to be funny.
Yeah.
That was dumb. But it was entertaining. There was some good stuff. I don't know.
Did you guys all go watch it in theaters, or did you wait for it to come out?
I did.
So I
Theaters,
I waited.
theater.
I saw it.
But that's the last time I saw it. Too.
I did
That doesn't
not
make sense.
give into that gross anymore.
Okay.
And even with this one, I'm doing a soft boycott. I'm not going to see it opening night. I'm going to wait about a week.
So is opening night gonna be the Thursday?
We're gonna see it
Or are you
opening
gonna go
night, guys.
Friday, or are you gonna actually wait till next Wednesday?
I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna get a matinee.
I'll go Friday morning.
Matinee next day.
I'll go a Tuesday afternoon, a couple days after it's been released.
I'm paying $6 for the ticket. All right, that's all.
The worst thing about the new trailer is you have everything you need now. You have 1,000 years of Jedi history within you, and it's like, no, she doesn't.
So what is crap is he was never even like friendly to Rey. Like
Yeah.
he just was like, okay, get out of here. I don't even want to be in your sight right now.
Which
Like,
doesn't make sense considering all the hardship that they kind of showed him. It's like, you've been through way worse.
At
Yeah.
one point, you thought he was questionably going to kill her because of the same darkness he saw within her as Kylo Ren.
yeah, if he was going to kill Kylo, why not kill a stranger that
Yeah,
you didn't even
I've seen it
know
before.
I like that part where her and Kylo were able to communicate with each other. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Did they do that before?
No, they've never done that.
So they explained that part for when
That Snoke said
Snoke was
yeah.
like, I bridged your minds. And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. And then Luke shows up out of nowhere, no bridging of minds of any sense. And he's just like,
And he sees them like communicating.
yeah, like,
That's sweet.
So
Why
this
does-
is, and again, I guess I shouldn't. I don't know, because I still hate Last Jedi. But they could do some things in Episode 9 to somewhat retcon some of this, because I got way too into this. And I started reading all this stuff, and so there's a book for the Last Jedi that explains a little bit more. So basically, this
Yeah,
is
they
one
had
of
to
the
put a
things.
book out, jeez.
They do explain how like Rey somewhat got her powers, and it's partially because of how Snoke bridged their minds, and so
Oh.
she can somewhat pick up like what he knows.
Oh, Dylan
But that is
loves
such
that.
a cheap cop out.
Dylan loves that.
okay, if they said it in the movie, I would have liked it a little better.
But it said
Air
they
it
have
out.
it in the book.
Air it
Yeah,
out,
so
Dylan.
isn't that crap?
Dill's
But
face
also,
goes.
he wants to.
But I agree it's a cop out. But
Okay.
if they mentioned that in the movie, I could have been like, okay, maybe she was in his mind.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of that.
But if that's the case, why wouldn't when you go to Jedi Academy, Yoda go, come here, we're gonna bridge minds. And then he can just transfer
I'm back
over.
out. I'm back out now.
That is such crap! Because they'd go, okay, you can have all my knowledge, all my wisdom. I don't need to sit down for endless hours and teach you.
Because part of
I guess. Oh, go. Sorry.
I was gonna say part of the reason that being a Jedi is so cool is because it takes so much training and like that practice,
Commitment.
And discipline.
yeah, and like that whole culture. I think is so cool.
Yeah, and I think that's what Yoda does, is doing all that training, and then the dark power could be just the bridging part. I guess that could be an argument for it.
Yoda
That's a
was
good point.
Look, Yoda was literally still training Luke. He's like, stop thinking with your mind. It's right in front of your nose. Like he still has a trainer, and Rey's just out there by herself, apparently just
Figuring it
effing
out.
everybody up.
Doing it all.
Just getting
Yeah.
a little mind read.
And did anyone ever think about how did Rey get on board that ship? She's with Chewbacca in the Millennium Falcon, and all of a sudden she's in the throne room.
That was in Solo.
No, in Last Jedi, like when she went to go see Snoke.
Oh yes.
Doesn't that ship look for incoming ships and be like, okay, let's blast this thing out of the sky? Like, what the hell?
I thought it was so stupid that she's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the enemy ship and try to change this guy. It's like, okay, then you'll probably both be It's like, why couldn't she just continue to do her mind bridge stuff and then slowly change him?
Yes.
And be like,
And talk
we
to her
touched.
more.
We'll change together.
But didn't Snoke want Rey alive though? So maybe that's why she could just
So
roll
he,
up
so he
there
could find out where Skywalker is.
and be
Which
like,
also,
all right, get over here.
his obsession with loser Skywalker I thought was stupid because he's just a loser now.
And we don't know why he wants him either. It's like there's no point. Oh, because he's the last Jedi.
I need Skywalker.
What does
Give
Jared
him
think?
to me.
I think you guys all have valid points.
Man.
All right, so we're coming down to the close of this episode 9 reaction / Last Jedi bash. Now, real quick, I have to ask everyone because I know what mine is, but you get a lightsaber. What color are you picking?
Before we say that, can we make our own color or only ones that we've seen?
Oh, you can make your own
Oh,
color.
okay, that's a good.
Oh,
Yeah, you could do. It doesn't have to be what you've seen.
It's saber color and robes color.
Oh, okay, I like that.
You want to know what robes were?
Mendez, start us off.
I just sound like I want black robe and red lightsaber.
Oh.
You want to be evil?
Oh, can I go orange lightsaber? That
Yeah,
looks pretty
you can
cool.
do orange.
Orange would be tight.
Orange would be cool.
What would
that?
they-
Black
Sick
robe.
baby.
Do you have a mask on?
No, I just want to look dark.
So you have the hood.
Yeah.
Wait,
You're Palpatine.
but you have a great soul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I love the black robes.
The
too.
black looks the best.
Now I would go Anakin's black robes
Yes.
from Episode 3. No hood. Well, he does wear the hood when he's got his travel.
The hood is the best
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, the-
Oh yeah.
I agree with that.
With red eyes.
But I absolutely would go green saber.
Yeah, wisdom.
Okay. Aaron, what
I
do you
totally agree. I would go. I wouldn't go black robes though. I would definitely go light brown robe and then the white outfit underneath.
Really?
More like a Qui-Gon
Like a Clone
Jinn.
Wars.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Qui-Gon?
But with a green saber,
Okay.
and I probably have a little rat tail that Obi has.
You're a Padawan in your own fantasy?
That thing is fire. Okay?
Oh my God.
If I could grow it, that thing would be ready
Okay,
to.
I want to have this, that, and I want to be a Padawan learner. So,
Actually, I want a training saber set in stone.
Okay, I'm gonna be a blue robe, like a deep blue robe, with a. I'm going a Darth Maul blue-green saber.
oh, blue green.
I'm going a blue-green saber, and I'm just gonna be Rey because she knows it all right away.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Why even be a Padawan? I'm just a Jedi. And I'm
No
just-
training
Right past
necessary.
training,
Nope,
you
double
know
blue
everything.
Yeah, I'll bridge with her, everything she wants, and then I'll know everything, and there we go.
You know what'd be sick is if on your double bladed, if you could disconnect them,
Oh,
so then you could do.
Oh, it's just
I
gonna
thought
ask
Darth Maul could always do that.
No,
No,
this is
not
a single.
Obi-Wan
There's that
sliced it.
spider guy that can do that though.
Oh,
Grievous?
that guy is.
Joe Grievous, yeah.
That's
No.
Clone Wars. That's a Clone
He
Wars
had
guy.
four lightsabers.
He had four different ones.
Four
He
individuals.
just had different arms.
Man,
I was saying,
Obi
if you
shot his
detach them, I think that'd be super tight.
All right.
I thought that Darth Maul could always do that.
No.
No.
I just changed my lightsaber. Can I go white?
No, that was mine!
Oh, like
sorry.
Jeremy.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
definitely want a white one and black robe.
Damn.
That would be sick.
Alright, we're twins then.
Okay,
That's what I
that's
want.
right.
Okay, white saber would be awesome.
Okay,
I
but
think that'd be so tight.
Whenever I play Knights of the Old Republic, which is one of my favorite Star Wars games, I always go purple saber though.
I like yellow too.
I think
Yellow?
purple is sick.
No, you don't.
Dude, yellow would be a six.
It's just a flashlight. Go grab one.
It'd be like gold.
So you want a wiffle ball now?
Okay.
Oh, that would actually be sick. Put a handle on that thing.
In your training, would you focus on
I don't
Jedi
train.
powers or swordsmanship?
I don't train.
She's Ray.
I would. Oh, that's right. He's already super good.
Powers.
Everyone's going
I would-
powers.
Everyone's just already like.
I want to be an adequate swordsman, but then
I want to be the most.
I would just be able to
horsepower-
control my lightsaber with my hand and be like,
Well, who would you say is like a really good swordsman? Like which Jedi?
Mace.
Jon Snow.
Mace Windu,
Mace.
Mace and Anakin.
And Count
Obi
Dooku.
in that Rage Fest.
Yes.
He was a great
When
swordsman.
Obi
Yeah, but did you
rages
see
on
his
Darth
hair?
Maul.
He was
That
great.
tail was braided up.
All right, of the five of us right here,
Yeah.
if we were all Jedis, who would turn to the Sith first?
Well, sounds like
Black
you would.
robe, red eyes.
Honestly, I think it'd be Dylan.
I think it'd be Dylan too.
I don't want to do it. You know what? This isn't realistic. I'm gonna go definitely on this side. I'm gonna
Screw
control
this,
everyone
there's more
else.
power over here.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to always want to be a Jedi and be a good guy. I swear to God, after Last Jedi, now I'm like, you know what? I want to kill everyone. I would definitely want to be Vader or something dark. Because you know what they do? They do what they want. And if someone's pissing you off, you just go kill them.
And then I feel like the dark guys.
Well then.
I feel like the dark. You know what? That's true.
As it should be, huh?
The Sith and the dark side always uses the Force a lot more than the weak than the
Yeah.
I was gonna say weak side.
Well, when they, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
than the hero side.
Well, they do have more like power. They get that knowledge faster. don't
Well, and
To
they
be
have
able to-
more rage, so they use it as more like to hurt people,
Yeah.
whereas the light side uses it more to just protect them. Like they try not to hurt people with
Okay.
it. That's why they typically just use force push and stuff. Like
get out.
they don't choke you. Like
Why do they
Vader
never
would.
go with the Force snap neck?
Because he just explained that. They don't try to hurt you.
Listen
They
to
never
you.
do
No,
that.
but why do
Giving
they go?
ideas.
Why does the dark people do that?
Oh, that's what Vader does.
Okay, so why not do it to every single person you come across? It's like, oh hey, I'm gonna either sword battle you or just snap neck you.
Well, okay, so like in episode
Why, Aaron?
3, because Mace,
That's such a great
no,
point.
because Mace, like if you're battling, like you have a certain awareness, you can deflect those types of things. So like there's counters to all those types of things. And that's why they'll catch you when you're like off, like you know when they're battling.
And they get like stunned.
yeah,
boom,
and
you
then
get
they
pushed.
can like get them with a force power or something. But if they're focusing, kind of like in Harry Potter, you can block it. Like,
Seriously, God forbid you get caught with a quick snap neck. Can you imagine? You've been training for years. You're just walking in, someone just like.
So you always, so the bad guy and the good guy always have to meet in the battle arena somehow. So why doesn't the bad guy just walk in and just go, okay, no words, I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing, I'm not going to tell you about what I just did, I'm just going to go.
But they get
snap
real.
neck."
Can you imagine just getting your brand new robe, your new lightsaber, and getting it and go, okay,
So I got my blue robe, I got my blue green double lightsaber that also splits into two, and I just snap neck. Come on, man.
I'm all warmed up.
It's not cool.
Let's get this going.
Just snap necks.
Well,
I think this is a good one to sign off on right here. So, anyway, we'll all be seeing Star Wars in December. We'll have many more reaction videos. And I just want to go watch Star Wars now. So,
Shout out Cuss's wedding.
shout out Cuss, who's not here because he's getting married in 2 days.
one of the yardlings getting married.
So, we'll be live from the wedding.
That's right.
So,
Sweet.
peace.
I'll make my robes.
All right, guys.
Adios, Dan.
Later, guys.